Okay, we are recording. Okay, let's begin. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you to all of you who are here and have taken time to join our group study. Welcome to the 12th session of Extended Review, and of course, for who I haven't met before, my name is Bayu from Extended Review. So nice to see you all here. As usual, I'll be briefly Extended Review. We are a Jakarta-based collective group study initiative. We bring together practitioners from various disciplines to connect, interact, and engage in discussion around topics, ideas, project approach, and an ongoing phenomenon within the creative industry. Beyond functioning as an alternative learning space, Extended Review is also a small experiment. We attempt to shift the object of study from focusing primarily on output or final works towards the subjects of the practitioner themselves. We call this approach researching the researchers. Today we are privileged to invite today's panelist Ana-Maria. Thank you so much, Ana. We are really glad to have you here in the session. And of course,
thank you for the invite.
Yeah, of course. And of course, thank you for giving us the opportunity to hear from you. We really appreciate the time that you've given to us today. I also will try to introduce Ana to everyone before we begin the presentation. Ana-Maria Cojocaru is a graphic designer from IAC, Romania, currently based in Arnhem, the Netherlands. She specializes in 3D motion graphic and research-driven projects. She graduated with a bachelor degree in graphic design from ACTES in 2024 and is currently enrolled in master program at WorkPlus Decorative. Ana co-founded Local, an Arnhem-based creative collective, together with peers Janet Zielman, Kuang Ting Sen, Tove Al-Obaidi, Casper Quine, and Us Overhaus. Together, they organize workshops, created events, and explore freelance design projects. Today's session is entitled Topic Focus Method. It is a title written by Ana herself. She'll be sharing her work and approach. And the discussion will consist two parts of sequence as usual. The first one is we'll be hearing the panelist presentation. After that, we're entering the question and answer session as usual. Okay, I think we can start. Ana, you are me to begin your presentation.
Yeah, thank you. I never know how to start presentations very well, so I always start with a quote. And I selected this quote from Mark Fisher, The Weird and the Eerie. The weird thing is not wrong after all. It's our conceptions that must be inadequate. And for me, I think I read this book around 2 years ago, and the way I see it, it's kind of if something feels strange, it's not necessarily wrong. It's more that my idea of normal feels too small. So it feels like from this, I learned that my understanding of the world needs to grow. And I mean, there's a few things that you've already mentioned. I'm originally from Romania, and I'm currently based in Arnhem, the Netherlands. Went for a bachelor at ARTES and graduated. Then I started my studio/collective, and we actually recently gotten a new member. And I am currently doing a master's program at WorkPlus Typography. So why I chose the title Topic Focus Method is during this presentation, I was trying to also get a better understanding of my own work as well. So I kind of created this format of keywords, and in a way, the methodology I use for my projects. And this is kind of the format. It's a title, topic, focus, method. So I'll go through maybe a few of my projects so far that feel relevant to my work, my practice now as a designer/artist. This is a project I did during my graduation. It was my graduation project at ARTES. It's called 2174 Future Ruins of an Automated Past. And the main topic is non-places. Focus is capitalism, and the method was world building. And with this project, I made 2 animations and sets of how I imagine non-places started, how I see how non-places started and how I see it maybe progressing in the future. And yeah, I'll just show you how it is. This is the first animation. And this is the second one, which would be my vision of the future non-place. Yeah. Another project that I worked on was the migration stories. It's a series of 3 animations. Also, I'm sorry, right now there is no sound. We tried it before, but it didn't work. So I'm kind of working with no sound right now. But yeah, the main topic is migration. The focus was a collective experience, and then the method was intimate conversations. Um, maybe I'll show one. I think maybe that could be enough, but right. Should I play all 3 of them, or do you think one would be enough?
It's okay. You can if you want to play the 3 of them.
Yeah. All right, then I'll just play it.
Mm.
Or And maybe this one quickly. Yeah, and another publication I was working on, it's 5 decades of natural disasters. Main topic, natural disaster, focus is media desensitization, and then method is illegibility. Um, and then I've made this newspaper publication about the natural disasters that happened in 5 decades in Europe. And I've chose to kind of create this map because, for example, in the period of 1972 till 1982, it's way less natural disasters than, for example, 2012 to 2022. And yeah, that's for example, why I also decided, I don't know if you can notice, but the text gets smaller as the more natural disasters happening. So for example, here the type was bigger, and then here it's smaller and more cramped and harder to read. And then maybe the other one is a project I worked on, my digital selves, where I wanted to create these different characters. So focus was social media, and no, topic was social media, focus was persona, and method was card games. Then this is an example of how I worked with this idea, but it won't load. Okay. I can kind of see it here. That's the main idea. So for this example, I researched my behavior throughout different social media platforms, and I realized that I behave differently on different social medias, apps, or yeah. So maybe if I go through this part, yeah, and I think the main work that I want to talk about today is one of my latest works that's it's called Surface, and the main topic is feminism. The focus is domestic violence data, and the method is performance art. And this project started actually as a Verplas typography workshop. And our task was to choose a word that relates to your practice, and the outcome has to be a project that you carry or wear. And for this workshop, I chose the word the word uncanny. And this is actually, I think, when I realized that my work has an uncanny aspect to it, because I had to look through all of my work and I noticed this aspect to it. So this is the word I chose. And then the thing I decided to wear is actually red lipstick, because I wasn't quite into the idea of making anything to wear, like clothes or an object to carry. I thought, okay, what else can I wear? And makeup you can also wear. So I was looking into what red lipstick is, and it is a feminist symbol of strength, rebellion, in the early 20th century. So I had these two elements now, and I thought, how can I make lipstick uncanny? And through my research, I was trying to look through different things, and I was looking also into media and culture and films. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it's about the way you wear it, the way you present it. It can mean so many different things, and ads, it could be, because, for example, this image has a completely different feeling than this one. Yeah, and I think after that, something happened back home in my country, and I realized that my country has one of the highest rates of domestic abuse towards women and femicide within Europe. And there were a lot of protests that happened back home. And I was really inspired by this. I was like, okay, I think this is something that needs urgency and needs to be talked about. So I was looking a bit into it, and I was looking into the data, and I realized that in 2025, there were 14 cases of 14 documented cases per day of domestic abuse towards women, which is 336 documented cases per day, and then a lot every year. Yeah. So I was thinking, how do I show this? Like, why did I choose to do work with tissues, or why a performance? I think I was really interested into this, I guess, almost ritual aspect of applying lipstick, because every time you apply lipstick, you're taught to dab it with a tissue. So for me, it was like, it could show covering up unseen labor or putting on makeup, the unseen labor of putting on makeup, sorry. So I thought, how do I show this, and why is it a performance? I thought initially, should I make a pile of 112,640 tissues? Sorry, that's a big number. And realistically, I couldn't have done it within the time that I had, and also didn't have budget to buy that many tissues. And I thought, should I do a month? It feels quite random. A week also feels quite random. A day feels like quite right for me, but then it was around 336 tissues, and I thought, how can I make this stronger? And I thought, the way to make this stronger than just a pile of 300 something tissues would be maybe a performance. So in Werkplaats, we have an exhibition space called The Box. And I went in the box, and I stayed there for around 24 hours, applying lipstick and dabbing it 14 times every hour. So I was there from 12 noon and then till next day, also at noon. And everyone was welcome to visit and see the performance. And it was quite a heavy experience. I've never done a performance until now. So it was quite heavy. And I think even the fact that it's a performance, this was even the stronger part, that it's so painful to be in that position, because I mean, I don't necessarily just wanted to show the data. I wanted to show the urgency of this subject. So yes, that was it for me. Thank you for attending and listening to me.
Thank you.
Should I stop the share screen?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Everyone, we are now entering the open question session. So if anyone want to ask the question, please use the hands up feature, and also please introduce yourself to everyone here. So yeah, if anyone want to ask question, please raise your hand. Probably I like to open with the question from my side, maybe like in the project survey, like why was the physical endurance and performance is why do you see that a physical endurance and performance is necessary in the project? Like why wasn't the graphic communication alone is enough? Like I mean like you are like it's maybe like I don't know how the works plus typography usually do the approach. Like maybe because I see it seeing it as a graphic design school. So I just curious, like why was the physical endurance performance is supposed to be presented in the work? Like why wasn't just the graphic communication is alone is enough? Maybe that's my first question.
Yeah, I think. I mean, of course, it's also the data itself is says quite a lot, but for me, personally, it was my own choice to make it into a performance because it's a difficult topic, and I mean, of course, it makes me extremely angry and sad to see that this is happening back home, and from that point of view, I just kind of thought that data alone isn't enough to show this. And for me, it felt very important that I go through this because wait, I wrote a note actually about this. It's I think just the tension when this performance happened made more of an impact because it's like people that attended or walked in and saw what was happening, they felt this heaviness around it because I was there for 24 hours. So for example, if they came over at first day at noon, it would be okay, just the start of it. But some people came over at 8 a.m. next morning, and I did that the entire night, and they could really see how tired I was, and they could really feel the heaviness of the topic. So I felt like this part was actually the strongest part about this project, if it makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Like I've been saying, like most of your works is containing heavy topics. Like I mean, like there's migration, domestic violence, and like a media decent. Sorry, I decent.
It's a rough word. I also
Yeah,
struggle.
it's a rough word. So like I
Yeah.
don't know how do you usually choose the balance between the like the how to balance it's supposed to be looks like artistic, but you also have this emotional intensity. How do you usually combine those two things into one works?
Yeah. This actually, I looked through this question and I was thinking about this question, and I still don't know because I think at the moment I'm also kind of trying to separate my practice as a designer and my practice as an artist, and they feel it feels now that I make this separation, but when it comes to my artist work, for example, with Surface, it feels more that it's going towards my art practice. It's really hard for me to separate myself from that because it's genuinely these type of topics make me very angry or very sad, or they're very heavy. So it feels like, yeah, I still can't really detach myself from it. So yeah, if you have any tips for that, I will also wait, but I still don't know.
Is anyone want to ask question? Okay.
I think before I ask or share my reflection, I would like to acknowledge that I really like how what you said about or your attempt to like creating a different world through like works of animation, publishing, and um, through video and performance. And I think how you involve this medium is what is it inspired me into a question of if you previously talk about separating how you work as an artist and how you work as a graphic designer as something that have different, how you say, maybe starting point in how you create
Yeah.
the artworks and how you approach some issues. But it really, the first slides of your, I think it was the quotes, it instantly reminds me of, I don't know, it instantly struck me about the idea of regimes of correctness, how this AI or the fast growing internet culture creates
Yeah.
such a beliefs and norm that we should be like correct, we should be knowledgeable, and it kind of make us like fear of making mistakes or fear of um, being honest, uh, and I saw what you created through like the animation um, speaks about it. When but this is also a question, like
Yeah.
my question on um, why is it why in some animation that you showed us previously speaks about world building, about
Yeah.
emotional expression or imagination on future, because I saw it somehow a bit like dystopian
Yeah.
in terms of scene, in terms of how you play with words or uh, imagination of how future would be like. But
Yeah.
I'm really curious.
Oh, you mean this one, right?
Yes.
Or yeah.
Why how to put it in words? Why is it? I know why you didn't include people or like individuals in each of your animation, for example.
Yeah.
I wonder how you approach the team through like site building or like
Yeah.
architecture form.
Yeah. I think I got it. For this project, and I mean in migration stories, I also don't have people. I think back then I was really looking into Mark Fisher, the weird and the eerie, and I remember this part because I was really trying to figure out how do I portray this, and yeah, Mark Fisher kind of mentions either uh, maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I'll try. That this kind of strange feeling can be also portrayed by the absence of something that is obviously should be there, or it's either this or the presence of something that shouldn't be there. So I was really playing with this idea because for me, I don't know if you know what non-places are, but in this project I was researching non-places, and it's kind of about supermarkets, airports, train stations, and I always found those places strange, that they lack this personality. Everyone is kind of anonymous. Nobody is looking at each other, communicating, and I thought about a way of showing this part that I find so uncomfortable about these spaces. So the idea for this project, for example, was I wanted to kind of enhance the capitalist aspect of this. So, for example, yeah, the lack of humanity in it was just more of a choice about how to show this uncomfortable feeling, but everything that is placed within these spaces, like how they're built, the map, everything around it is made for people to buy things. So, for example, in a supermarket, on the shelves, you'll see that on the bottom is the cheapest things, and the more you go up, it's more expensive. Or the way the supermarkets are built, they're the same everywhere in the world. And you just kind of enter the space, and you have all the necessities in the beginning, and then you have to go through this unnecessary part of like snacks, drinks, this, that. So it's everything is tailored to make you buy more and more. So in the first one, it was kind of the beginning. I was looking into how regular supermarkets looked like when there was even less automation and cashiers was still present. And in the second one, I wanted to go really kind of with the future lens, which is not necessarily how I see them progress in the future. It's more of an exaggeration of what's happening now, because I don't know how it is for you guys, but in the Netherlands, they recently made systems so there's no more cashiers. So if you go to the supermarket, you can never no longer interact with a human person. There's self-checkouts for cards or for cash or for everything. So there's literally no human interaction in these spaces. So it's not really that I necessarily see the future as it is. For me, it was more of an exaggeration of where I see it heading. I don't know, maybe the answer was a bit chaotic, but I don't know if it's clear or not.
Thank you, Anna. But I totally get it, and it brings me to another idea of what you've been said as a lack of humanity aspect or humanitarian aspect when it comes to hyper modernism or hyper capitalistic system that or
Yeah,
AI basically that
yeah,
I don't
and
know
I mean,
in the future.
yeah, and I mean also this hyper modernization or this kind of technology replacing humans, I find it a bit problematic within the capitalist aspect, because they don't necessarily want to do this to make it easier for us, because machines still have a lot of flaws and they still mess up. They do this because they don't want to hire people anymore and they don't want to pay people anymore. So it's kind of also about that, you know?
The hidden labor that they
Yeah,
want to like I don't know discard or
yeah,
mm,
but a really good question. Thanks.
thank you.
Anyone else want to ask a question, maybe? Yeah. Okay. No?
Hey, I can't
Maybe for
find
me
the raise
again.
hand
Uh,
option,
Yeah.
Oh,
but I hope.
ah,
Yeah. Hi, my
okay.
name is
Yeah.
My name is Radu, and thank you again, Anna, for the presentation. Really inspiring.
Hi. Thank you.
First, I wanted to share a small reflection regarding the performance that you did. I think it's quite. Um, I wouldn't say inspiring, but I hope you know what I mean. Uh, that your act of actually wiping off the kiss, I thought of basically this super soft gesture and super loving gesture that you normally do when you kiss, especially with the mark that you leave on the paper, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that in my head, at least, it also plays into the normalization or the narratives that sometimes take place when um, like a relationship violence happens. I think that that's also a big aspect that we are unfortunately very familiar with.
Yeah.
And I thought that also, as you said, with your uncanniness or your eeriness, you kind of show this exaggeration of that act or the twisted mirror, let's say, of that. So
Yeah.
I think that that's quite, I would say, inspiring because you managed to show something that's quite indeed uncomfortable or violent, but you're not doing in my head at least the lazy thing of just showing violence. You're trying to also find in my head at least some sort of respect or autonomy for the victims. And yeah, I was curious, my question would be if you would want to extend this performance or continue this sort of methodology, especially since you also said that you feel like quite at the intersection between art and design, and you don't are not really sure you can still separate the two of they're mixed and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious if you want to
Yeah.
do more of that, or how do you see this? Yeah, this performance and this whole context thing. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I think performance-wise, I still need to think about it. I tend to. This is a personal thing that with my art, with a lot of my art projects, at least now the way I see that I separate graphic design and art is they still feel very similar to me. But the one thing that I find different is usually that my art is my self-initiated projects, and then my design is when I have to translate someone like an idea that is already there, or it could be that it's working with a client and I have to translate that idea. And it's still, I find both of them still to be art, but for me, I think that's where the separation is, at least personally. But performance-wise, it to be fair, the way I see my art projects is that I don't feel that I necessarily have visual languages in my own just necessarily my own style. It feels like the projects kind of eventually get their own visual language. So I feel like the more I know about a certain topic, it becomes that certain topic that I'm researching, it becomes something on its own. So with the performance, I never really did it. I never really thought about making a performance. But when I had the idea about this ritual, it felt very right for me to make a performance. So I did that. I might make a performance again. I have to be honest, I have to be super, super well prepared because it was actually genuinely like one of the heaviest experiences I've had working on this, because you think, oh, I'm gonna do this for 24 hours or it's gonna be a day and it's gonna be okay. But actually after like 14 hours in, I was getting very irritated and very paranoid of my surroundings. And yeah, it was a heavy experience for me. And I think I would have to be very well prepared to go through that again. And also, maybe I forgot to mention this, but you reminded me, the the reason why I called this project the surface is because this is only documented cases, so it also talks about what we don't see. So it's also about all the victims that never talked about it or never reported these. So there's probably way more. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a very,
Yeah.
very nice answer, and I'm looking forward to more of that.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to add? Maybe. Maybe like to get back to the my list of question, like you mentioned before, like your work was often to address absence, missing stories, unseen labor, eligibility. I don't know. What do you think of the design roles in the maybe in the near future, or not that like is it the design role is to reveal, to disturb the work? Maybe what was your intention for the audience that seeing your work, and what reaction that did you expect when you when you started the Surface project?
Yeah. Yeah, I think with this idea of the absence, I try to reveal something. I think let me think about this. I had the notes. Oops. Absence. Yeah, I think yeah, the reveal part is a big part for if it's very important for me. I think some topics go a bit deeper than we might think, and if I have to think of an example, not this is not necessarily about Surface, but if I think about the Future Ruins project, the yeah, I think, for example, I could make a project about capitalism, but I was quite interested with how deep this goes, because I was interested into how this also affects our environments when we don't even notice that. So I like to kind of bring light to these issues. Or if we go about feminism, we talk about feminism. We can also look way deeper into, for example, how the medical system works. There's certain medication that is more tested on it's tested to be, for example, it's more tested on men than women. Or for example, the way a car is built, the seatbelt and all the safety measures is also, they're also created to after a man's body, and it reacts differently to women's body. So I think it's all these tiny issues that I'm really interested in, and I want to bring light to them. Because I think the yeah, we all know a bit about it, but it goes way deeper than we think. I think
Yeah.
maybe yeah.
Probably maybe like I want to relate to the nearest I won't say incidents, but maybe like what's happened recently, like in the Berlinale. Wim Wenders said that that he doesn't want his film festival to be political, something like that. But you also mentioned that like you still try to divide. This is the design work, or this the your artist
Yeah.
work. Like, do you think like it should? Do you think like should everyone be? Like, is everything? Should everyone be more aware about that their works is always political, or do you think it's better to keep it separated? Maybe, like, I don't know. I just want to ask your opinion about it.
I think for me, a separation was just very important. I think that's the only way I could yeah, a separation is very important for me, just because I nowadays see design a bit more of a client thing, or that I'm working for
Okay.
someone. Or yeah, I have to translate someone's idea, and I can still do that in a
I see, yeah.
creative way. And then yeah, art, I feel like for me it's very necessary to have this self-initiated projects, just because after I graduated I worked freelance for a year, and I noticed that as a designer I don't have as much maybe freedom of choice as I would like. So I feel like it's very fulfilling for me to have this separation, that I also have this maybe one self-initiated project that means a lot to me, and I'm fully in control of it.
Yeah.
But everyone can do what they're comfortable with. I know people who are very happy with just client work. I know people who are only doing self-initiated work. It really depends, I think, for everyone. Yeah.
I guess it's
I don't know.
maybe for design, like it's really important to like client-based projects. So it basically something that we can always do whatever we want, like that. Something like that. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah. It's not that you don't have choice as a designer, you definitely do, but I think it's more restricting than an art project. Because, for example, I can still make a book, and I can make a book as the way I see it, I can make a book as a designer, that I receive this content and I have to work with it. Or I can make a book as an artist, and then I choose the content, I choose what I want to be in the book, I choose everything about it. So I think, yeah, both can be very creative,
Yes.
but yeah. Yep. Well, is there anything else?
That's is my okay. Anyone else? Maybe. No. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe that we can make that as the last question for the session. Okay. Okay. Thank you to everyone who has attended and stayed with us until the end of today's session. Before we close, I would like to remind you all that extended review possibilities and ideas. If you have projects, concern, a line of thoughts, or an idea that you would like to share, or if you are interested in collaborating, please don't reach out. Yeah, for those who like to stay updated in the future discussion, you can contact us to the program and have a regular very detailed discussion information. Also, please note that our website do the ongoing rebranding process. So each time our discussion archive can be accessed through the YouTube channel that's in place. Yep. Finally, before we officially close today's session, let's take a group photo for the documentation. Please feel free to turn on your camera so we can and maybe you can
Yeah.
stop sharing the
Yeah, I'll stop sharing. Yeah.
okay. Oh, everyone was already lit. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anna, for your time.
Thank you, Anna,
Also,
and by you.
Thank you.
thank you very much for inviting and for the questions. It's been really nice, and it was really nice to meet everyone and stay in touch. And
Yeah.
if you ever want to contact me, let me know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next session.
Thank you, and see you.
Bye bye. See you. Bye bye.